Hello, and welcome to Beyond Books, where we talk about books and always go beyond. Today, we're going to go all the way beyond good, better, best, all the way to the phenomenal, because I'm going to do the phenomenal woman tag. This is an original tag, and it was created by Marilyn Maya Mendoza. And this is in celebration of her anniversary of being a booktuber, as well as her birthday here in the month of August. So, I'm your phenomenal host. My name is Renee. This is your phenomenal co-host, Raina, and we'd like to get started with the prompts. So, let's see. I was tagged by Marilyn herself. And also by Pat at Book Chat with Pat, both of whom are extremely phenomenal women. So let's see, where are we at? The prompts. Okay, first prompt. Let's start with a treat so that Raina can have some brain food going here. Here you go, Raina. And now we're going to talk about who is your favorite phenomenal woman author? Well, I can tell you that this year I have read so many phenomenal female authors. Toni Morrison would certainly be one of them. I read 2 of her books as part of the banned book project. This one, Beloved, and also The Bluest Eye. Toni Morrison is often banned, and it's a shame because if it causes even one person to miss out on her work, then that's really sad because her voice is incredible and her stories are wonderful. Let's see, what else did I read that was phenomenal by a phenomenal woman? Well, earlier in the year I read this banned book. It's called Push by Sapphire. This is a book about sexual abuse and incest. And I can tell you just the way that this author writes about this subject is absolutely incredible. It's very relatable. And I'm sure to anyone who has been in this type of situation, for Sapphire to give the character of her little girl, Precious, the voice that she has, the spunk, the energy, and the raw grit. I mean, that is truly phenomenal. And so I wanted to read a quote from Sapphire herself. It says, "A major focus of my art has been my determination to reconnect to the mainstream of human life, a segment of humanity that has been cast off and made invisible. I have brought into the public gaze women who have been marginalized by sexual abuse, poverty, and their blackness. Through art, I have sought to center them in the world." So that's very important, and that's one of the reasons why I chose Sapphire. And while I'm on the subject of banned books, let's go for one more. I just finished Anne Frank's Diary of a Young Girl, and I will talk about this more in depth in one of my banned book videos. I buddy read this with Daniela from Uncommon Reader, and she's going to publish her video, at the same time that I do. So that will be coming out soon. But for now, let's just say that I thoroughly enjoyed reading or rereading the book. I think it was to think that this was written by a young lady between the ages of 13 and 15, hiding out in a warehouse in a secret annex behind a cupboard with her family for 2 years. Again, it's just phenomenal. And this young lady was clearly taken from us too soon. But I'm so glad that at least one work featuring her voice still remains now, 80 years later, to tell us her story. So the second prompt is, what book features your favorite phenomenal woman character? Okay, well, I could have chosen just so many, really. But instead, I'm just going to choose someone from my recent reading within this past year. So I'm going to choose the character in Kristen Hanna's book, The Women. The character's name is Frankie, and she is an Army nurse in Vietnam. The story's well done, and I thought realistic, even all these years later. I'm really glad to see that this book became a bestseller and is now exposing whole new generations to the work of nurses during wartime and what went on, for better or for worse, during the turbulent 60s and into the 70s here in our country and abroad. So, yeah, hats off to Kristen Hanna, and a very strong and interesting, not perfect, but yet very relatable and likable female character. And the whole book of The Women reminds me of a book that I read about 40 years ago. It's by an Army nurse named Linda Van Devanter. And it's called Home Before Morning. It was published in 1983. It has a similar but yet real life storyline to The Women. It is a work of nonfiction. It's Miss Van Devanter's, basically her memoir. This is the book that inspired the show China Beach, which was aired from 1988 to 1991. Linda Van Devanter was involved in organizing some of the VA services that now exist for women specifically, because it really wasn't a thing before then. And I believe she also had some input into the Vietnam Women's Memorial, into, getting it accomplished. And it's there now in Washington, D.C. I believe one of the only sculptures in the United States to feature women only. No males in that one. That is, even though I'm sure there were male nurses and things like that, but that one is just two women and their job that they did in the military during wartime in Vietnam. So, I'm got this book again. I'm looking forward to rereading it. It's kind of hard to find a copy. This one looks like it's been chewed by a rat, but that's okay. It's not going to change my interest in it. And while we're speaking of strong female characters, I want to give a special shout out to Dorothy. Probably the first strong female character I ever saw. Now, I first came across Dorothy in the movie, but soon was to learn, Raina, what are you hiding back there for? But what's up, Toto? But soon was to learn that, these were books, and I have read maybe not all, but a lot of the Oz series, always near and dear to me. So special shout out to Dorothy and Toto. Okay, so next question. If you were creating a book prize, which book by a phenomenal woman author would you choose? Well, I think any of these that I mentioned, except of course this, not a female author, but any that I've talked about, and others, from poets like Maya Angelou to Mary Oliver, mystery writers like Patricia Cornwell, authors of classics like Harper Lee. Raina, what are you doing, girl? I'm going to have to move let me move the camera because I know you guys want to see Raina. Here we go. Harper Lee. to children's authors like Catherine Patterson, to adventurers like Cheryl Strayed, to Carrot Quinn, to female sports figures like our wonderful female Olympic team. You can try if you must, but you can't silence us. We will speak out for ourselves and others, and who knows, maybe someday we'll have to speak up for you. So that's the Phenomenal Women tag. I'm going to tag some other phenomenal women booktubers, and maybe some men as well. Let's see who I come up with. I know Pat just tagged a whole bunch of people too, so we'll see what we can do to get Marilyn Maya Mendoza's tag out there. Marilyn, congratulations on your Booktube anniversary. I hope you have a wonderful birthday, and thank you very much, not only for tagging me, but for creating this fantastic tag. I hope that everybody has a great day. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.